Hello everyone, it's Nady, and today we'll be testing out the BlendBunny Cosmetics Blends palette. As you gorgeous people know, this is about the products, not the people behind them. Any tiff you may have with them, please cast it away because this is a channel of positive energy. Okay? Thank you. Oh, my little dancing daffodils, how you doing today? I hope wherever you're at in the world, you're having a marvelous day so far. I myself am doing simply divine. It is sunny out, the skies are blue, and I am alive. Can't ask for much more other than maybe like $1 million and a sugar daddy, but let's not stretch things here. And I'm really fucking stoked to test this palette out. This is from the independent brand BlendBunny Cosmetics. I'm wanting to have a series on here where I do like full faces of indie brands, but I have no idea what the fuck to call it. So if you have any ideas, please comment down below. But I do follow this fabulous brand on Twitter, and so many of their followers have been asking and asking for me to test this palette out. And so I finally broke down, I finally got it, and oh god, I can't wait to take a look at it. So this is a 30 matte pigment palette, which retails for $39. Honestly, not too shabby, especially for an indie brand. It does feel super lightweight, which is great for traveling. It's not one of those palettes that has that super luxurious, like heavy feeling to it. But from what everybody says about this, to me, this sounds more like a professional palette that you would want to travel with. So I kind of appreciate the fact that it is very, very light. Like this bitch could probably float away or hippity hop because it's a bunny. But before I open this up, the website says she's back. Every deeply pigmented, easily blended matte shade you need to create a seamless blend in any color combination. The shades are conveniently placed for blending for all makeup artists and enthusiasts, no matter where you are in your life journey. I freaking love that. Oop, hold on. We do have a little plastic protector, which I very much appreciate to keep all the little dust bunnies away. Dust bunnies, get it? Oh, fuck, I'm such a dad. Okay, so let's open this and, oh, damn, those actually are just as beautiful and vibrant as they are online. That shit is rare. And they're just laid out so nicely. It really is perfect for blending out. Like you could start with this, blend that out with that, and then blend those edges out with that. Damn! So if we weren't to add any of these colors like with each other, like that with that or that with that, whatever the fuck combo we wanted, just alone, we get 10 little trios that we could create at least 10 looks with. Like mathematically, there's almost 1.1 billion with a B different variations of looks that we could get with just this palette alone. Like, that's pretty good, I guess. I mean, I might run out eventually, but no, fuck. There really isn't much more than you could need with this palette. Like, we get warm tones, cool tones, everything but shimmers. Not to mention, it is very, very visually pleasing. But before we dive into the swatchy song and all that jizzy jazz, let me just feel a couple of these. I want to feel Luxe right here. Ooh, that feels very nice. Oh my god, Spellbound is divine. And then let's feel Chase, this beautiful kind of fuchsia pink. Oh, that's great. I'll put that there. Beautimas. Oh, that is fucking tits. Those feel so freaking fantastic. The swatches look fine, but performance versus swatches, that can be a completely different story. But the swatches alone do seem very, very good quality. They're not like the buttery, creamy kind of mattes, but they do feel like they have a lot of punch in them. Not like rum punch, like a good color kick. I'm so freaking sad because there is no way in hell that I could ever use all of the shades in this for a video, but I'll pick a few of the shades that typically aren't the best in most palettes, and we can see how they are in this. Like the browns, they're probably gonna be really good. Blacks typically are good. Purples are usually good. Oranges are pretty hard to fuck up. But yellows and blues, those could be the little bitchy ass hoes of palettes, so we might end up using those. But of course, I'll use it enough to be able to tell you whether or not I recommend it. That's only fair. And even though this is like a Nikki Tutorials kind of artist palette, unless I have like 8 hours to dedicate to doing that look, I try to do looks that people can easily recreate. Typically, it's a cut crease. That's probably what I'm gonna do today. So if you're expecting me to like pop up looking like an alien, that's not gonna happen. At least not for this video, but definitely catch me later because I could totally see myself using a lot of these weirder colors like as contours. I love doing that. But today we're gonna keep it simple but in-depth but very user-friendly. So I am excited to swatch and do a look with this little bitch. You guys know the song. Are you ready? It's swatching time. Oh, before I do dive into swatches though, these are pigments, which means that some of them might stain as they kind of have on my hand. Typically anything with like a pinkish undertone. So pinks, obviously, some blues, a lot of purples. Those do tend to stain. The blue kind of wanted to stain a little bit. I am just scrubbing my hand with a damp makeup eraser and they're kind of coming off, but I can see that that pink does want to leave its mark. So if you do end up trying this and you use the pink and you wipe it off, you don't have pink eye. It's just stained for a little while. No big ish. And here we have the first 12 shadows. Honestly, I think these these did really fucking well, especially not going over anything damp like a primer. These held up great. I can't see where a few of them do kind of want to fling off, but again, this isn't over a primer. I have a feeling that once these are on the eye and blended out, these are gonna be phenomenal. But you never know, we'll just have to see, but swatches alone, they look pretty decent. And here we have the next 12. For the most part, pretty much all of these do look very, very good. A couple of them don't really want to show up, but I think that's more my lighting. But for the most part, just like the other swatches, these look great. And here we have the last row. Everything looks very, very good. I love this grayish tone right beneath the black. That is beautiful. The only issues that I've had with any of these shadows were with these two browns, which is very, very odd to me, but they didn't really want to swatch. They're probably fine with a brush, but it's typically the browns that are like the best in a palette, just because they're very, very difficult to fuck up. Not that these are fucked up at all. They just didn't want to swatch the best. I think they just need a primer to lay down onto, which is fine. So let's hop into our look. Today for primer, I'm gonna switch this up. I didn't love this the first time that I tried it. I don't fucking know. I was probably high and can't remember, but I'm gonna give this another go. This is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I know this was like a cult classic favorite and I don't want to miss out on shit, you know? There we go. We'll let this sit for a minute. And then for foundation, I'm gonna try this Fit Me Plus. I know I've used this before and I got this to review because I thought it was a new product that came in like a juice box bag, but I guess it's the same shit just repackaged. So I'm gonna try this. I don't know if this is supposed to be like more environmentally friendly. I can't imagine how. It's certainly compact though, which basically describes me. Ooh, but that's pretty. It's got a nice little light medium coverage to it. Very nice. Fuck, I'm gonna need this whole damn tube. You know what? Even though this isn't what we're reviewing, I think we're gonna have to pull up the match-o-meter because this looks fucking fantastic. Oh, I don't know. Like, I've not done anything to my forehead yet. It is completely bald, and there's not like that drastic of a color difference between the two. I think this might be like a 9.5. What do you think? Well, hopefully that's a good sign from the makeup gods that this palette is gonna be banging and we are gonna turn out some tricks. I mean, some looks. But no, honestly, that foundation does look really good. I might have to stock me up on that. Or maybe it's the primer, I don't know. God, I've got to lift my curls. Oh, they're so delicately placed. I've been trying to give my hair a little bit of a break and do less blow drying, which means that every now and again, I am a curly daddy. Well, there we go. I like literally everything about that foundation. That was a fun little find. And then fork and squeeze, this might actually be a little bit too light for me, but this is what I have to work with. This is The Ordinary's High Coverage Formula in 1.2 pp. Just gonna wharm it in between my phalanges here. Ooh, damn, we are going to be very highlighted today. That's all right. Then we'll gently buff this out with my Hank and Henry brush in Francis, which that looks okay, but I think I want just a little bit more. So I'm going to go in with the Marc Jacobs Extra Shot in Light 160. Oh God, this smells like a luxurious oatmeal bath. Oh God, these products just work together so fucking nicely. Ooh, but maybe that color match wasn't quite as good as I thought, or this is oxidizing because my chest is a totally different color. We'll just blend that underneath the shirt and act like nothing happened. Then underneath the eyes, I'm gonna set a teeny tiny bit of Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. And then with whatever's left on this little brush, I'm gonna lightly dust over the rest of my face to set it into place. And we'll give everything a little bit of a setting spray with the Gerard Cosmetics setting spray. And to prime the eyes, I'm gonna go in with the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas in white. Who looks like a crazy baboon? Me! Oh my gosh, there's just so many colors that I wanna dip into, goddammit. Why couldn't I be one of the cool monsters with multiple eyes? No, instead I'm a normal monster. Okay, maybe we'll be a little bit artistic here. I might do several colors right here and then cut that and do like a cool cut crease. I don't know, we can at least try it. Let's start by skinny dipping our little asses into Serendipity, and I'm taking that with my OMFG Cosmetics brush. Look at how cute that is. But I'm gonna take this and place it right here on the inner part of the eye. Oh my God, that is pigmented as hell. Fuck me up. There is a little bit of fallout, but I think that's because I kind of brushed it with my eyelash because I was so freaking shocked. So we'll just pay better attention with the other shadows. Okay, so let's blend this out. It goes on magnificently. It blends out fabulously. Obviously, it is very, very pigmented. Like, look at that. And then with a clean brush, I'm gonna dip into Enigma. And I'm gonna plop that right next to that yellow and slowly blend it in together so it creates a nice smooth transition. I mean, saying that and doing that are two completely different things, but this bitch will attempt to. And I'm just using like super gentle light strokes. Let me go back in with that yellow. The only thing that I'm noticing is that when it goes down on that primer, it does kind of want to change colors and turn a bit brownish. I don't know if it's because it's mixing with that yellow. It totally could be. Let me take a little bit of Self-Love, that beautiful red, and place it right in between that orange and yellow. That might help the transition be a little bit smoother. Ooh, actually, I love the way that looks. Like in person, you can still see some some of the orange. Oh, I love this. And that shit blends out like a damn dream. Okay, so I'm basically taking that red and placing it over the orange, and then I'll probably just smoke that red out with some more of that orange, just because I don't love that color that it turned into with the yellow. And actually, I'm gonna blend this red out with that slightly later orange that was next to that burnt orange. I like this so much because you can layer them up very easily without them blending into each other. The only issue that I have is right where that yellow and orange meet. But otherwise, everything looks really good. Oh, and I don't know what I want to do. I think I might finish up this side with, oh, I don't know, maybe a little bit of Vamp. I'm gonna take that shade and pop it right here on the outer corner and kind of blend it in with that red. Ooh, that is a nice one. Look at that. We have a pretty little sunset. Except for right there, it's a little bit of a bruisey sunset, but that's my bad. So far, I feel comfortable saying that probably anybody from beginner to pro could use this palette, but you might want to know a little bit about color theory because some colors really aren't gonna mix. So now before I cut the crease, I think I'm gonna pack on a little bit of Submerge, and I'm gonna kind of create a faux cut crease before I do the real cut crease, just so that there's a nice dark color right above the concealer. And because this way I can use as many of these colors as possible. Also, I look like Lady Gaga's album artwork for like Applause or something. Oh, but Submerged is beautiful. It goes on very, very nicely. All right. Yes, ma'am. So I'm just gonna take that and bring it up. Oh, I don't know. How many other colors do we have? Let's take it about halfway into the eye, and then I'll transition into something darker. But also, a huge thing to mention, I did not put any powder underneath my eyes to catch any fallout, and look how clean that bastard is. Very. Other than where I accidentally brushed that yellow onto my eyelash, there is no fallout. That shit is impressive, especially with these bright, bold-ass colors. And like, this inner part of my eye was, for the most part, covered up with some sort of shadow, and this is still laying down as if it were going directly onto a primer. This palette is just really impressive. At least so far. It's still early in the day. There's plenty of time for me to fuck this up somehow. All right, then I'm just gonna gently go over those blue edges just to kind of soften them. God, that is so pretty. I almost don't even want to cut the crease. But if I do cut the crease, then at least I can use more shadows. So with a new brush, I don't know, let's do some Spellbound. It's a nice deep dark color, and you know this daddy loves it deep. I'm just gonna kind of blend it right into that turquoisey color and bring it down to the outer corner. Oh, that's a really, really nice blue. It doesn't seem patchy, which is kind of weird for blues. A lot of blues are patchy just because they're kind of difficult to formulate. And there we go. I don't know what you see. It does need cleaned up a little bit. We'll get there. Don't judge me now. But I'm still able to see every freaking color that I put down. The yellow, the orange, the red, the pink, the turquoise, the blue. Like, that shit is all still there. So now let's do what we always do and cover everything up. For that, I'm gonna go in with the Kryolan TV Paint Stick in white. Okay, there we go. Okay, that feels pretty dry, although I do kind of like it like that. But I also want to test more of these colors, so let's dip into Cream and Sugar. And I'm gonna place that right here on the inner part of the eye to really highlight it, or at least attempt to. This one does seem a little bit pilly. It's definitely not quite as good as the other shadows were, but I think if I build it up and really pack it on, we'll be fine. Oh yeah, she just needs a few layers and then she's banging. I don't know if you can even tell where I put it because everything is pretty light, but I placed it right about there. Next, I'm gonna go into Wildflower, and we'll start bringing that right up the crease line. I am kind of expecting this one to change colors because it is going directly onto something slightly moist. I mean, it's dry for the most part, but unless a matte goes onto something that's like dry as a boner. Wait, no, dry as a bone. Anyways, I'm curious to see if this will at all change, which it's not really changing too much. It's laying down pretty nicely, but it is kind of wanting to turn a little bit green because that base that I put down is slightly on the bluish side. But the shadow itself is kind of on the greenish side, so I'm not at all surprised with how this is performing. It's going on very well. However, that shadow does have the slightest bit of fallout, and I think it's just because I'm packing so much of it on. Next one, I kind of want to try with my finger. Let's do, I don't know, Sunsets. And I'm gonna place that in the middle of the eye and kind of drag it outwards. Oh, that might not have been a great choice. I mean, the pigment is fine, it's just the colors. So instead, I'm gonna go over that with a bit of Remedy. That blends in with that yellow so pretty. And then right on the outer corner, I'm gonna finish up with a bit more of that deep blue Spellbound. Cool beans, man. Then for the lower lash, I want to dip back into Submerged, that gorgeous teal. And I'm gonna start by packing it right up close to the lashes. And then right below that, I'm gonna blend it out with some, ooh, I don't know. Do we want Bubble Bath or Dream? Eeny, meeny, miny, ho. Let's do this one. Oh, fuck, that is nice. Honestly, the name Blend for this palette is perfect because this shit really does blend. Fuck, let's also take a little bit of Bubble Bath. And I'm gonna gently sweep that right below everything. I don't want to take this blue too far, otherwise it'll make me look like I didn't get enough sleep, which the bitch didn't, but I don't want to make it obvious. And then right in between the lashes, I'm gonna take a little bit of that deep blue Spellbound. Oh god, that goes with those shades so perfectly. Pretty sure I've used half the fucking palette just on this eye alone. We might get through using all the shades today. Alright, on the waterline, I just combined a bunch of ColourPop gel liners, and it didn't really do that much, but they're there. I think I'm gonna leave this side alone. I'll finish up with liner and lashes and all that jizzy jazz later, and let's move on to this side. This eye is probably gonna be much more simple, so let's first start by dipping into, I don't know. Let's dip into First Kiss right here. And I'm gonna place that right in the crease line and blend it back and forth. Oh my god, that blends out and goes on so nicely. Let's create a nice little glam smoky eye, so let's dip into Self Love, and a little bit below that shade that I just put down, let's blend that out. Ooh, yes, I like this. Like literally, these shadows do all the fucking work for you. You just place it there, go back and forth, and it's blended out instantly. Oh god, that's nice. And I know I did put on that brownish tan shade, but I think I want to blend this red out with some of Sunset. And so I'll just take that right around the edges of that red. Oh my god, that goes on so nicely too. Each shade really is like the perfect transition shade for the shadow next to it. This is just like magical. That pink and red is literally all that I would need for a look. Like put on a little bit of shimmer, call it good. So then right on the outer corner, I'm gonna take some Vexed, and I'm gonna start by packing it right there and then sweeping it towards the center of the eye. And that is a deep shadow, but I do kind of wish it were the slightest bit deeper just so that there was more of a dramatic effect. But still, the three of those shadows together look great. I do want it slightly darker though, and I'm really curious about depth. It didn't swatch the best, so I want to see how it works on the eye. Oh fuck, that performs so much better than how it swatched. That is a great brown. And that, my little sex kittens, is exactly why swatches really don't mean jack shit. Okay, I think I did like this look better before the brown, but I was really curious about it, so we just had to use it. But still, this turned out a very easy, simple, quick look, which just goes to show that this could either be a one and done palette, like a two and done palette, or you could use every fucking shadow in the palette and you could still create a pretty eye. Then for the lower lash, I'm gonna take some of that deep burgundy Vexed and place it right in between the lashes, which I'm then gonna blend out with that beautiful pop in red right next to it, Self Love. And then right below that, I'm gonna take the pink right next to it. I'll just take that right there. Oh god, those go together well. Then on the waterline, I mix ColourPop's Joyride and Good Reef. And on the inner part of the eye, I'm gonna place a little bit of Pop Luxe Sex Life, which, thank you all so much for your patience. This shit is finally gonna be back in stock soon. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Definitely make sure that you follow me on social media for updates with that because, oof, we're drawing closer, honey. But there we go, that adds a spicy little wet look to that eye. And then on this side, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Pop Luxe Nightlife. And here we are with both of our final looks. I do quite like them. They were, for the most part, pretty easy to get to. I mean, this one was not quite as easy, but still, they were both, I guess, effortless. And I've had everything on now for maybe 2 or 3 hours, and this shit is holding up fabulously. So, how do I feel about this little bad bunny? Wait, isn't that somebody? God, I'm out of the loop. Anyways, I really like this palette. Is it perfect? Not quite, but it is pretty damn close. I feel like if you're a professional, you get a fuck ton of use out of this. Even if you're just starting, you have so many options to go from neutral to bold to bright. Like any kind of look you want matte-wise, it is here. Like you don't really need much more than this. I thought everything layered up beautiful. It blended out perfectly. The only real issue that I have is that these shadows are extremely dry, but some formulas are just a little bit drier than others, and it just makes layering them a tiny bit more difficult, but still, I thought this was excellent to use. And I think the only other complaint is that some of the shadows don't want to work nicely together, like that orange and the yellow. It created that weird brown splotch, but that's literally the only two colors that I had an issue combining. But other than that, there really isn't anything to complain about. Like, this palette is so worth every fucking penny. I love that it's lightweight. I love anything that's versatile. This is kind of one of those limitless palettes where your own creativity will be the only thing that will stop you from doing the look that you want. There really isn't a matte look that somebody would want to achieve that you couldn't with this palette. It's just really good. I don't know if they have a shimmer version of this, but I would totally get that in a snap. So, do I recommend it? Yes, I freaking do. Do I think it's worth the price? Fuck yes. I am so freaking impressed. I'm so grateful to everybody that recommended that palette. Go out and grab one. Or 2 or 3. Fuck, I don't know. But yes, there we go. Thank you so much for being here. I love having you. And if you'd like to support me and my channel a little bit more, please feel free to join us over on Patreon. It's patreon.com/poplux. There you get videos a day early, you get Patreon-only content, plus best part, it is cheap, fun, and fancy, just like me. And like always, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so that you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget my newest collection of highlighters, including Black Ice, which does change from black to white, is available at thepoplex.com. Also, my latest album, Kiss of Fame, is available everywhere online that music is sold. Thank you so much to everyone who's supporting them. Comment down below, let me know what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialnady, and you can follow me online at thepoplex.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye!